Very good afternoon from a sun-drenched Sydney Harbour for the second heat of the JJ Giltinan 18-foot Skiffs Championship, brought to you by the Winning Group. And what a gorgeous day we've got, a late season nor'easter that's been slowly building all morning, and we're going to see another thrilling race, that is for sure. After yesterday we saw the first heat done and dusted, and we'll talk a bit more about that later. I'm Peter Shipway, and along with Andrew Buckland and James Bury and the Sail Media team, we're bringing this live stream to you today, and it couldn't be better conditions. The starting line will be to the west of Clark Island, a little bit different to normal nor'easterly start area, because the breeze probably east-nor'east at the moment, but forecast today to get further round to the nor'east as the day progresses. So we'll talk about the weather in detail, and then we'll come back and talk about yesterday's race, because there's a few stories to tell out of that race. So Andrew Buckland, good afternoon to you, and let's talk about the weather.
Pete, as you've observed, bright and sunny. But no, seriously folks, high pressure cell, same kind of synoptic as yesterday, very weak gradient. So what we've actually got here is a unusual sort of autumnal sea breeze, expected to perhaps get towards 14 by the end of the race. East nor'east, as you've mentioned, a bit of funneling, and a weak flood tide all afternoon, and the committee got us on the #1 course. Bit of a drag race, this course, usually only one good way to go up the beat. The course itself, first leg a beat 2 and a bit miles, or just 2 miles to the Bishop Buoy up near the Southern Peaks Reef. First reach to Shark Island, which will be quite tricky today with the breeze a fair way right of a summertime ordinary type nor'easter, and then what will now probably be a VMG run for the second after the jibe at Shark Island to the bottom. So the first lap is a triangle, the second lap is a windward, so a sausage, and the third lap the same as the first. Premium on pointing for the first bit of the race, ability to hold a lane, pretty important to get left the first bit of the beat. It'll be a cracker.
Well, we saw a really good race yesterday, and we're in for another one today. The breeze probably here at the starting area in between Clark Island and Garden Island, really. It's probably just up to 10 knots, maybe 11 knots in the puffs, but looking upwind, we're going to see a bit more, I think, as the day progresses. So today's race sponsor is Birkenhead Point Marina, and they're racing for the Cliff Monkhouse Memorial Trophy. The late Cliff Monkhouse was a highly distinguished 18-foot skiff sailor, and he's skippered his famous Tagara to win the 1964 Giltinan Shield and World Championship. Four-time winner of the League's Club Championship, former president of the League, the sailing club that hosts this event, and he became a life member in 2004. So in memory of Cliffy, today's race is named after him, and the prize will go to the winner. So James Bury, yesterday, just give us your thoughts, and maybe look ahead to today's race, which is probably about 10 minutes away from starting.
Yeah, I think yesterday's race was pretty exciting. Like at three different leaders throughout the race, with the Noak Sailing leading pretty dominantly, and then came to grief, and you had Smeg lead for a bit, and then Tech 2. But you know, the Winning Group, they were up there until an incident which seen them retire from the race. You know, Finport came good. I think, you know, everyone's hitting their straps at the right time. You know, Marcus on the Andu, like what a boomer he had up that last week. Like that was pretty sensational. Like you know, he'll tell you it was all skill, but he, you know, it was really great. It was a really great race to watch live from on here, that's for sure. You know, the Queenslanders, they were up there up that first week on the Queenslander bait. So, you know, I think we're in for a really exciting series moving forward. You know, Appliances Online, they had a blinder yesterday. They sailed really well the whole race, which was good to see. You know, it's sort of making it a little bit harder to sort of sharpen up your pencil this early about your top 3 for today, but I don't know, Pete. What's your thoughts on it?
Well, I think it's going to be, as Andrew alluded to, it's a long course, and there's a lot of tricks in this course, especially the Spinnaker run from the Beachel Buoy to Shark Island. That normally sorts a few of them out. But let's recap on yesterday, just the results, if you missed it. The race was won by Tech 2, Jack McCartney, Charlie White and Lewis Bragg. An outstanding performance, really. They were a little deep at the first mark, but then they continued to be there or thereabouts and finally got their nose in front on the long beat from Obelisk to Shark Island the second time. And they won by 27 seconds from Smeg, Michael Coxon, and then a fair gap then to Finport, 2 minutes 44 adrift in third place, and then 10 seconds behind them in fourth was Andu. The Oak Four Pines was fifth, Yandu sixth, Burden Bear was seventh, Appliances Online eighth, Noakes Sailing recovered to finish ninth after their swim, and they were in the top 2 or 3. They capsized. Shaw and Partners also capsized, and they finished 10th. Noakes Blue, Yvette Heritage, the only lady skipper or girl skipper in the fleet, she was 11th. 12th was Vintech. 13th was Birkenhead Point Marina. 14th the Kitchen Maker. 15th Rag and Famish. 16th Lazarus Capital Partners. 17th Lumix, a Queenslander. 18th was Queenslander. Those Lumix and Queenslander both from the northern state. And 19th was Ilvi. And we saw winning group retire from the race, and we didn't know at the time what had happened. So I can recap here of what is the situation with the winning group. They were had an incident just after the start going into the western side of Bradley's Head, and they were holed by Vintech. And subsequently, Vintech was disqualified. Vintech was on port. The winning group was on starboard. They were holed, and the boat slowly filled with water, and they had to retire at Shark Island the first time as the boat was getting lower and lower in the water, and they had so much water in the boat that they could hardly lift it back out onto dry land. But they've patched that, and they're back out here today. So the protest committee met, and they decided to disqualify Vintech from the race and award the winning group third place. So that was an interesting decision, but that's the decision of the protest committee. So there were, in effect, no other placings will be affected. So there were 2 third placings from yesterday. Finport and the winning group will both be awarded a third place. They won't share they will share the points, but they will get points for third. So that was the result overnight of the race protest committee. And we're just getting signals now. 5 minutes to go. Lovely nor'easter, so it's going to be a nice little beat up to Bradley's Head, Andrew. Normally the starting line is to the east of Shark Island. They lay into Bradley's almost on one, but here that's going to be a good solid beat to Bradley's Head in the flood tide.
Yeah, Pete. And the same old problem exists. How far can you go to the left before you have to get onto port? Do you have enough room to tack and duck, or do you have to stop and wait to some degree? Tricky. Yeah, breeze, as we mentioned, about 15 degrees right of a normal nor'easter, and that's why the committee's put the line in where it has. Looking at the line, Pete, yeah, looks to me like it's favouring the boat end.
Well, 4 minutes 10 to go. We'll soon see.
And the wind just one knot, should I say not notch, one knot up from when we last talked about it, around 12 knots
12, 13, yes.
And probably a little build between the start line and the headland. So we'll see them all at nice medium upper range, big sail, the whole fleet on big rigs.
Well, there's Andu and winning group. Andu, an outstanding fourth yesterday. Marcus Ashley Jones, Cam Gundy and Geronimo Harrison.
And an outstanding fourth, Pete, with no Cunningham eye. They sailed the whole race using the rig tension as their primary, rig control. Tore the Cunningham eye patch out of the mason just shortly after the start.
We just see in the background, that's Noakes Blue have had an early capsize.
They just wanted to wake themselves up, mate. Should be right.
3 minutes 15 to go. They should get back on in time, you would think. A lot of yachts in the vicinity of the starting line, but just remembering the starting line to the west or northwest of Clark Island, away from the traditional northeasterly starting line. And we've got 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, I mean, and the keelboats will be gone by the time we start here, so I don't think the crews are going to experience too much difficulty. But the harbour is full of boats and full of people.
Yeah, but it's a lovely Sydney day, as you say, a late summer nor'easter. Well, it's autumn really, so autumnal breeze, as you mentioned, Andrew. Nice word, I like that. And so we wouldn't think the nor'easter will get too much pressure by the end of the day. Maybe you might see 16, 15 or 16, but at the moment, 2 minutes 20 to go. And we're on the starting line now. There's the pin right in the foreground.
So, Pete, you were supposed to nominate your top three, mate.
Can I tell you after the race?
That's what you said yesterday.
Well,
yeah, mate.
I'm smart, you see.
Don't predict.
Well, I think, you'd have to say Tech 2 after yesterday. A really, really classy performance by the Australian champion. They just kept on keeping on, and they finally got the measure of Smeg up the long work. Smeg probably let them go to a certain extent, but nonetheless, it was Tech 2 that had the speed and the class and the crew work to get the job done. 1 minute 40 to go in the start of the second heat of the winning group, JJ Giltinan 18-foot skiff championship. Brought to you by Sail Media, this live stream. Today's race sponsor, the Birkenhead Point Marina. They've got a boat in the contest.
And the fleet pretty much racked up on the windward edge of the start line towards the committee boat end. Noakes mid-line, and just clean air here for the first bit, pretty critical.
Yeah. Minute 10 to go, and Noakes furthest to leeward. Oh, the Burden Bear's right down there. He's going to get the pin. There's a minute to go. A minute to go for the second heat. There's the Burden Bear. You can see him on port now, coming back
to the fleet to try and
to tack under them, you'd think, and then
rack them up a bit.
45 seconds. Yeah, majority all at the committee boat end. Winning group towards the leeward end of the group. Smeg's up high, Lazarus is up high, Tech mid-line.
Well, they look a bit early to me, Pete.
28 seconds.
A bit congested and a bit early at this end.
Yeah, there's a lot of boats up at this windward end. Burden Bear's got the pin to himself. Above him is Noakes sailing, and then above him Rag and Famish, and then the winning group. Okay, 10 seconds. Hammer starting to go down on the Burden Bear. We're away, not 3, 2, 1, gun.
God damn.
Ooh. Burden Bear, is it clean? I think it's a clean start.
Finport, perfect.
Finport absolutely creamed them up at the windward end. It's a clean start, so race 2 is underway.
I was talking to Keegan before the race and just encouraging him a bit not to take too much risk. Oh well.
Well, he rolled the dice there on Keegan York on Finport.
Yep.
Third yesterday, and he's stepped out nicely. But the Burden Bear got the pin and looks okay right down to the leeward end.
Yeah, the Burden Bear's going good job there, Pete.
Tech 2 bounced out from the middle of the line. He looks solid. Just to leeward of him, obscured now, is the winning group, and in front of him, Noakes sailing with the birthday boy, Ed Powies, on the main sheet. Let's hope he can celebrate in style. But the Burden Bear stepping out nicely. The big trick now will be when to come back, because there's a big wind shadow under Bradley's head. If you go too far, you'll really be let down. Most of the fleet now on starboard.
But, I mean, the only guys on board are the guys who had to take to clear their air.
Yes, Yandu was one of those.
As far as you can possibly go on starboard here.
Yeah, but it's a trick. How far do you go? Burden Bear looks good.
One of the ones that I liked for today, Royal Oak, 4 Pines, they got caught up big time at the start boat.
Okay,
hopefully they can come back.
There's Burden Bear. He's not far off attack, you'd think.
No, he can go quite a bit further, Pete. There's enough east.
Doesn't want to get chicken wind up under Bradley's.
No, he's got about another 30 seconds, I'd say. That should
starting to look at it. It's looking a bit light where they're going into Athol Bight. 3, 2, 1. Come on, boys. Let's go. James Doran and his crew.
And this will be
John Walton and Tom Clout. Away they go.
Interesting stuff.
Have a look here.
He's across Noakes. He's not going to cross Winning Group, I don't think.
As you say, he's across Noakes and he's across
Winning
Group's tacked underneath him. Tech 2's the next boat and he's going to have to pull behind him. There he goes. Tech 2 crossed him on starboard. So and you'd probably say that Tech 2 leads at this very early stage.
Tech 2 and Finport lead, Pete, I think.
Tech 2's tacked. And looking ahead, there's just going to be a bit of up and down pressure, but they'll about another 200 metres. They'll be in a really good, solid, steady air. Finport is already in that. There's the Bird and Bear left. Andu, the Winning Group, and Tech 2 already, and right behind Tech 2 is the Noakes Sailing, just slightly to windward off his hip. And then further back is Noakes Blue. Okay,
so Pete, we'd expect him to come back to the headland
and look for the left-hander off the headland when they just go back out on
nice
port.
Bit of compression there. Yep. You can see it from here where we are on the camera.
Way in the distance was Yandu. He got a bit squeezed at the committee boat end. He tacked early, but he's a fair way back.
Fantastic pressure coming off the headland here, Pete. Have a look.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
first to get it, and it's Noakes Sailing. If we come a bit round to the right,
it's a must.
You'll see Noakes Sailing well off, coming off the hip of Tech 2. He's just not quite in the pressure yet, but he's holding his lane okay. Bird and Bear's solid, and just to the lure to Bird and Bear is Smeg, and right out in front of them, but well down, is Finport. Oh, there's a yacht that's just made a little bit of a mess of Bird and Bear. Went right to windward of him and dipped. Oh, there's the friendly police launch. I mean, really? Come on, boys, you should know better than that. Yeah, why don't you just mix it up right in the middle? I mean, anyway, I'm speechless, as usual, when you see these powerboats, but the police, they should know better than that. Anyway, we're back on the race. There's Tech 2.
And Finport just two boat lengths behind Tech 2.
Okay, the Winning Group standing out with Smeg. They're tacked. Oh, Winning Group and Tech 2 tacked in tandem there. So aquatic ballet, as they say. Lovely. And now they're on the starboard tack into Bradley's Head.
Plenty of traffic coming down the harbour of various kinds.
Big pleasure boats, but at the moment it's a race between Finport, Tech 2, the Winning Group, and the Bird and Bear. They're going to be first into Bradley's. Oh no, Noakes Sailing will be. Oh, Noakes Sailing and Bird and Bear are together, and just behind them Andu. So it's all very tight. Okay, there's Tech 2. Behind him, Finport.
Bloke in the keelboat might be wondering what he's doing.
He's going to be scratching his head in a minute, this keelboat. They'll punch off this Bradley's Head shore in a moment. There's Andu tacking.
And Bird and Bear.
Noakes Sailing will tack, and just coming into screen, there's a massive party boat, Cruise Sydney. Oh, he's just going to decimate the fleet. Straight through he goes.
That's okay though. Noakes has navigated that pretty well, Pete.
They did. They're coming off on port. Tech 2 will be across them. So Tech 2 leads. Picks a very nice lane to go back into Bradley's. He'll extend up here for 20 or 30 metres, then tack. And the lovely nor'easterly now, east nor'easter, probably 12, 13 knots, no more. Big sail breeze. And he'll be tacking now. There he goes. Tech 2 around, and the Winning Group not far behind. There's the Winning Group coming up on starboard, probably a couple of boat lengths in it. So what's the tactics now?
Pete, you're in charge of that today.
Well,
you know,
I think you'd
I was
probably
exhausted after yesterday.
You'd probably protect the left a little going up this beach, especially with an incoming tide.
Yeah.
But it looks quite east on the far side over near Shark Island.
No, I mean, it's clear that you can make the step to the right, and that probably will pay. So just get it, if they just get up this western shore a little bit and then get hard right, that will probably turn out to be the best answer.
Yeah, there's Bird and Bear coming back. He's not far out of it either. Oh, Tech 2's come back. Okay, he likes the left going up.
A bit more pressure on this side, I think, Pete.
Just check that paper.
Yep. Noakes sailing right in the mix. His winning group coming back.
Jimmy, you mate, the Doz is having a good shot at it on the Bird and Bear.
And there's
What he was thinking at the pin end, but
Winning will have
He
to.
got out of there pretty good, though.
Winning will take the stern of Noakes. And just behind them is Smeg, who was second in yesterday's race behind Tech 2. But the Bird and Bear.
And I tell you who's making yards is Noakes sailing.
Well, they were quick yesterday, weren't they?
They've gotten themselves up to second, I think.
They look very sharp.
sort of quite like the look of Noakes' setup.
Well, it's had plenty of money spent on it, Jimmy, you know that.
Yeah.
Well, they're the leaders. Finport went right out into midstream, halfway to Shark Island. He doesn't look that good.
No, there's less pressure in the middle of the channel, Pete.
And looks less pressure looking upwind too.
Yep,
towards
as you'd expect. Just
the
that,
weather market Beechel buoy.
that good compression at Bradley's. So Tech 2 leads by about 5 boat lengths. Noakes in second. Finport and Bird and Bear probably the next two. Andu, Smeg struggling. So the Smeg after yesterday, Pete, were complaining about lack of gust response with the signal spreader, big mast. Common-ish problem.
That's not new though, that rig, is it?
No, not at all.
So,
You know, you can make it work in one wind speed, but not in another. You know, it's
correct.
It's a one-gear rig. Whereas
Here's the leading group going into Taylor Bay, and it's Tech 2, Noakes sailing, and Yandu in the distance, and then just coming into screen now is the Bird and Bear. They're looking for a little left-hander to go back on, which you invariably get around Chowder Head. Punch in here out of the tide and then come out on a nice left-hander. And boats that have stood out in the middle, they're not doing anything great, I don't think, at the moment.
No, the current's just enough to make enough difference, Pete, to the VMG, yeah? The Bird and Bear's having a good day out, boys and girls. We're on Tech 2.
So just on shore and partners, Smeg and Andu. Snail man and Harry. Come out.
There's Shore and Partners,
So this is the chasing pack now, really.
Smeg, Andu.
And anybody that went to the middle has given back about 5 or 8 boat lengths, per the example of Finport, who's just to windward of Andu. Just if we can just have a look at him, just to the right. Yep.
There's Smeg. Smeg's not that far out of it. He's got a nice clear lane here. There's 3 of them going upwind.
But he hasn't gone very fast through the water so far, Peter. So.
No. Plenty of sunshine and not that much wind. It's probably lucky to be 12 knots here. Maybe 11. East northeast. And Tech 2 coming off the shore. You can see him in the distance. He's now on port tack. He will lead clearly from probably Bird and Bear. And then in there somewhere is Noakes sailing.
No, Noakes is going to be second, Pete.
Oh, Noakes, I couldn't see dark sails along the shoreline.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Noakes sailing. And Bird and Bear
And
left
then
with...
it's very close for...
Yeah, but the Noakes is sailing very, very well.
No, they sail pretty cleanly. Yeah.
So,
Not on screen.
so we're about halfway up the beat to the Beechel buoy. Then the Spinnaker run, which always produces some thrills and spills down to Shark Island. But it'll be I think it'll be a one-legger down there. Look at this breeze, Andrew, won't it?
No,
really?
absolutely. Just a screamer. So we're about to see an interesting thing here for the viewers. Tech 2 on screen leading Noakes Group to windward.
Well, he's tacking now. This will be interesting.
He's going back to the left edge.
Here comes a cross
On the
between Tech 2 and Noakes.
Complete other side of the harbour, Peter. Winning Group gone up the eastern shore.
Okay, so Noakes tacked underneath him, which probably meant that he was not going to cross. And we're looking for the Winning Group. Well, they've gone right across, almost to a couple of hundred metres short of Steel Point. So they've rolled a dice looking for the east on the eastern side, which could pay off. But at the moment, we're on the spectator ferry.
Just on the other side of them is Winning Group.
Come back, Eric.
Round your left a bit, Eric. Find them.
There's Yandu and there's Winning Group going back for more. They came out, had a look at it, probably didn't like what they saw, and Winning Group all by their lonesome over there. There's a yacht making things difficult. You'll see Andu come into picture at the moment. They were giving him a bit
Sailing
of a
lesson?
well, yeah, it's just a friendly get out of the way with a few expletives, but another bloke that no idea what he's doing.
The Bears going fast, Pete.
They certainly are. They look very good. And they're a lightish crew, are they?
No, Doro.
No, Doro's been in a good spell in paddock
Okay,
since I was see last seating.
But you see Tech 2 coming round their bow, and just to leeward of Tech 2 is Noakes. So remembering that Tech 2 was yesterday's Heat 1 winner. Noakes finished down in 9th spot, and the Bird and Bear, they finished 7th. So they were there or thereabouts yesterday. And will the right pay? If the right pays, then the Winning Group are going to be right in the picture. They're so far away now, we've got no real idea, but there's the friendly Narrabeen, the Manly Ferry, bound for Sydney and Circular Quay. Tech 2 just tacking, and Noakes is doing a fantastic job here. Tech 2 tacked underneath him, I think. Noakes is above him.
Let the drag race
Drag race, yes, indeed.
Drag race commence, Pete, I'd say.
It's interesting. Tech 2 had starboard race, but didn't go across. He tacked underneath him, and I guess they want the drag race now up to towards Beechel. Oh, a bit of lumpy water.
Tech 2 pretty confident about their ability to sail high, Pete, so they would always take on the lee bow.
Hence the tack in S. So they're the leaders from the group that went left, and not many went right.
That would be a group of one.
Well, the Winnings, no. John Winning's in there and Yandu. The Kitchen Maker's also on Steel Point. And the Winning Group, right on Nielsen Park.
They actually look pretty good.
They do, actually.
Yeah.
Well, we thought it was probably looking for that east-northeast out of Watson's Bay and Nielsen Park. There's the Winning Group. Nielsen Park, famous Sydney beach in the background. Right on the starting area for the famous Sydney Hobart race. But nonetheless, we're on the skiffs now, and a Winning Group, if they can get a couple of little right-hand shifts.
Tech 2 coming back at Noakes here. Noakes attacks.
I like that Winning Group, I must say, way in the distance.
Yeah, and he's done the right thing.
There they are.
He's bitten the bullet even harder and gone hard in to put towards Bottle and Glass Rocks.
Well, there's plenty of skill and ability aboard the Winning Group in Sam Newton and Sevi Jarvan, multiple JJ Giltinan winners. Sevi, of course, is skipper of the 7 boat. Gotta love it, 7. Won multiple championships. 2008, then from 2010 to 2015 inclusive, so some good tactical nous there. And John Winning Jr., a world 29er champion in past But at the moment we're on Tech 2 and Noakes. Great battle between these two and nothing in it. Noakes is throwing down the challenge here to Tech 2. They're off George's head, coming up. They're trying to probably go out to the ley line to Beechel's, and then Noakes will have to follow him in, you'd think.
Yeah, Tech 2 shouldn't be too far off tacking here. Very close to the ley line now.
Little incoming tide, so we'll have to allow for that. They're just coming towards the obelisk. Big powerboat coming down the course. And what breeze, what have we got, about 12 knots? A little gust, maybe a touch more.
Yeah, no, it's 10, 12, Pete, isn't it?
Two groups still well and fully up over there.
Two well-sailed boats here.
Well, in the distance, the winning group look as though they could well have overlaid the mark, which will...
Well, it pays to overlay, Pete, on that side.
Absolutely.
If you...
Okay, there's Tech 2's tack. There's the winning group now.
You know, that strong right-hand shift only extends, you know, a few hundred metres off the shore.
The moment of truth, I would think Tech 2 will lead, I think.
No, Tech 2 will lead.
Yes.
But winning group's in the hunt.
Yes, absolutely.
I think that's the summary.
So both boats here, Noakes sailing left, Tech 2 just ahead. Oh, struggling to lay with
they are short.
Of course, the tide pushing them left to right.
And sailing slightly into a header, Pete.
So. Look, I'm liking winning group again.
Yep. He's not far out of it.
No.
If he's out of it at all. Like I said, I think the right would have paid if you navigated your way there optimally. But,
so Finport sort of worked his way up the middle along with Smeg and the Bird and Bear.
Yeah, the Bird and Bears.
That's Finport. You can just see off the bow of Noakes sailing.
Fallen off a little.
And behind him,
winning group's going to lead.
And winning group will lead. Well, fantastic. I mean, they did a really massive split. They held their nerve. They kept going back for more, and they got it. They'll be a good, clear leader here. Yesterday, remember, they had to retire with damage after an incident. They were awarded third place. So here's the winning group. Here will be the leader at the weather mark. Not much in it. Smeg, Tech 2 just putting the bow down now. I think they've laid. Okay, here's the winning group. Probably about a couple of boat lengths in it. Winning group around. Tech 2 screaming in behind them. Just to windward of them. Okay, nothing in it. Winning group leads. Oh, there's a fishing boat in their way. This is going to give Tech 2 a bit of grief here, this fishing boat. I hope he's seen him. Oh, he's got to go right up, hunt right up. And around goes Noakes sailing. He's on his way.
Pretty good lead from Noakes sailing too.
It was. They gave nothing away to Tech 2 then. There's the set, all three now. Good set on the winning group. Smart on Noakes sailing. Tech 2's away, and fourth will be Finport. She worked up the middle. Then next will be the Bird and Bear.
No. Just come around to your left. That's it.
Here comes the Bird and Bear, and was just behind him Shaw and Partners. And then Smeg will be next. So he's giving them a fair start today, Smeg.
No, he's really struggled up that beat, Pete. Not enough speed to stay out of the peloton. It was a bit troubling.
So he was next, Smeg, second yesterday. He's around, okay. Spinnaker's up, and away we go to Shark Island. Then Yandu will be next. John Winning followed his son up the eastern side, but didn't come out as well as did the winning group, but he's around now. He'll be followed. There's a lot of boats coming around now. You can see Noakes Blue coming in on starboard, but before them it'll be Andu around now in a good puff. The Kitchen Maker, he's around in a nice little puff. Then Noakes Blue, and then the Rag and Famish.
A bit better day than yesterday. I spoke to Matty Pearce. He said, "Oh, we left plenty on the table to improve on."
Work with.
Well, they finished 15th yesterday. Okay, so following them around will be the Royal Oak, Vintech, Birkenhead Point Marina, a Appliances online well back in Ilvay, and I haven't seen our Queensland friends. I think they're a fair way back. Anyway, the race is on now to Shark Island.
That's Lazarus Group just coming back up through the field.
Yeah,
Just here.
yeah. And away we go. It's a one-legger all the way to Shark. And will they lay it? That's the thing. There's the big heading puffs down off Nielsen Park. We're on Andu and Yandu. Yandu to leeward, Andu to windward.
Those two seem to be glued to each other the last couple of days, don't they?
Yep. Interesting looking downwind.
They are 7th and 8th respectively. I don't know who's 7th, I don't know who's 8th, but anyway, that's what they're fighting for. Just ahead of them will be Smeg with the white Spinnaker, and then in front of them Shaw and Partners.
Yeah, Tech 2 has somehow gone from being the boat nearest to the shore to being the boat furthest away from the shore. Winning group looking down near Nilo there, the white Spinnaker furthest left. Looks like they might need a jibe.
Lovely northeasterly breeze at the moment, 10 to 12 knots. We'll see shortly. Winning group did have to jibe. They had to, and Tech 2 will be jibing. There they go. Tech 2's jibe. Winning group is jibe coming off Steel Point. And that's Noakes Sailing going behind them, and with the white Spinnaker is Finport. So racing 4 at the moment for the lead.
And what they've seen is there's very light air up behind Steel Point.
The winning group went very high and right onto the point before they jibe. Here's Smeg. They'll have to jibe shortly. All these boats will have to jibe. Here goes Smeg. Michael Cox is just looking around. There he goes. Shaw in Partners jibing as well. The Burden Bear have jibed and gone out to midstream. Lovely jibe on Smeg. And the race is on now for Shark Island.
And Tech 2 might have left the door open a bit here, Pete. Furthest right on screen.
It's very tricky down here. You go too high to get under the lee of Nielsen Park and the Steel Point headland.
And Finport's just escaped, I think, here, Pete.
Yeah, and Noakes has jibed out. He'll be got behind Finport. Oh, no, just in front. Sorry, just in front on starboard. He's going out towards the winning group. And Tech 2.
Finport just opened the champagne.
He's still going to get through a couple of quiet spots. Now the winning group and Tech 2 and Noakes all in good pressure. Finport now struggling. I think he'll have to jibe here. He's going into a very light air.
Just needs one puff, doesn't he?
He does. It look good for a while, but there's nothing here where he's going. He's got to jibe.
Tough.
Turn the fans on.
If we just go to the left a bit, we'll see Finport. Yeah. There he is. He's just got a puff.
Yeah, no, good puff coming for him. He'll be okay.
Yeah, look at this. Is a really tight battle. No, winning group just got their nose in front. Tech 2 close. Finport, he's still got the pressure. He might have escaped. He might have got through, but look at winning group have got plenty. Tech 2 have now got it. Noakes haven't quite got the pressure that winning group and Tech 2 have, but they're about 100 metres short of the jibe or the turning mark here at Shark Island.
Winning group look comfortable. Sebi sort of half in off the wing there.
Yep, full VMG mode. The winning group.
Wow, bit tricky. It's going to be a VMG run down to the leeward mark at Clark Island. There's Finport up to windward. He got through there.
No, he took a little bit of risk and he's come out about it even though, Pete,
yes.
after all the snakes and ladders.
Winning group first. Tech 2 second. Noakes will be third, and then Finport just coming into the screen in a moment will be fourth. There he is.
So troops now.
Keegan York, Matt Stenta and Phil Marshall.
0.8 of a mile VMG run down to Clark Island, Lade Market Clark.
So these four are battling for the lead, then coming down with good pressure behind them. Shaw and Partners, Smeg, and then a fair group a fair distance back to Andu and Yandu. Anyway, these group are going in towards the eastern end of Point Piper. Who's first to jibe will be Tech 2. Winning group jibes with him. Noakes Sailing have jibed as well to windward of them, and Finport, he can sail a bit of his own race. The other three are pretty close together. There's Finport, nice jibe in good pressure. And here come the rest as the leaders run away to Clark Island. Not that much wind. Shaw and Partners on the left, and then Smeg jibing early.
And Finport might have done the best out
Oh,
of the
Bird and Bear back here, boys. Have you got there? They are.
There's the Bird and Bear in all sorts of trouble.
They've lost someone over the side.
Yeah, there's some bloke swimming at the back. The only good thing he's on starboard. But is he back on? Yeah, I think he's back on.
Back on.
Spinnaker will come on, and Bob's your uncle. There they go. Okay, and there's Bird and Bear. Andu jibed very early.
Tough little bit of course here, Pete, as we anticipated to some degree, but this is more difficult than usual. Breeze lifting off, and no consistent flow over the windward shore.
Big group just going round the island now. Yandu follows Bird and Bear, then the Kitchen Maker, just behind the red Spinnaker on the yacht, then Noakes Blue, Vintech, Rag and Famish, and the Royal Oak. They're a little disappointing today.
Remember they had that tangle up at the start, Pete, just behind the start boat. You know,
they were fifth yesterday. Aaron Everett, Courtney Marr and Charlie Gundy. And away we go down this run. Great shot of the harbour and the harbour bridge, the Opera House, and 18-foot skiff sailing. What could be better? Lovely day out here. Really good conditions, good big sail breeze. The Rag and Famish, Vintech. We haven't seen today's race sponsor, Birkenhead Point Marina. We don't know where they ended up. Okay, they're just back at Shark Island, Andrew tells me, but meanwhile we're chasing the leading group as they approach the turning mark at Clark Island.
And it looks from here as if Tech 2 leads.
Tech 2 jibing to go into the mark on port. Winning group just behind him, and it's going to be a little tricky down here. There's a lot of boats coming down with good speed. Noakes Sailing just jibing. Oh, don't get the wobbles up, boys. Okay, they're okay. Noakes is okay. Okay, Tech 2 are around and clean. Quite a tricky manoeuvre that. Winning group trying to get in now and jibing. Their Spinnaker's down, they'll be okay. Noakes Sailing will get round in third spot. Finport, and then Smeg's closed right up. They had a great run, Smeg. They'll be right back in touch here with a good rounding. So it's Tech 2 leads out on starboard, winning group, then Noakes Sailing, Finport. Tech 2 about 4 boat lengths ahead of winning group, 2 boat lengths to Noakes. 2 boat lengths to Finport. Smeg's around, not quite tidy. Now they're tidy. Then right on their hammer, Shaw and Partners. So those two closed up considerably. So another good long beat now to the Beashel boy as we watch Andu come in, blue Spinnaker. Can they handle this manoeuvre? Jive
Easy.
drop. And then the bird and bear. Okay, Andu looks okay. Spinnaker down. Good job, bird and bear a bit wobbly. No, they get the job done.
That'd be a couple more races under the belt. That might be a pretty handy combination. Tommy Clout and
Doz
on the main shed.
Johnny.
And Doz on the wood.
Oh,
Johnny
Yandu's got a bit on here.
Never in doubt, Pete. I don't know what you're worrying about.
No,
Kitchen maker.
Kitchen maker.
Coming
Yandu's
tight.
round. Kitchen maker is around.
Noakes blue.
Kitchen maker Jordan Gertis, Lachlan Doyle and Tom Quigley. It's getting the Spinnaker down. Don't let it get over the side, boys. You'll be in trouble. No, all good. Then Vet Heritage in the Noakes blue. Oh, Vintech looks a bit slow here. Rag and Famish coming in. And round the outside comes the Royal Oak.
And Ventec's hove too, Peter. Be the polite way to describe that, wouldn't it?
The back markers caught up a fair bit then on the leading group.
Yeah, I think they just brought a bit of wind down.
Yes, they're still a long way back, but they're certainly not as far back as they were at the weather mark.
Yeah, the peloton quite nicely compressed. But
Appliances Online come in, white Spinnaker, then Birkenhead Point Marina got a bit on. They've got to get out of the way at Shaw and Partners. The black Spinnaker, they're today's race sponsor, Birkenhead Point Marina. We'll see Ilvey coming across to them in a moment. There's in screen Appliances Online. They had a reasonable day yesterday. Appliances, they finished 8th. Here's the Birkenhead Point Marina. Not far off a jibe. Here they go. 1, 2, 3. Get the job done, boys. Yep, well done. Ilvey in the background. And then a few stragglers still to come. Lazarus, Capital Partners and the Queenslander and Lumix. So the fleet all standing into Bradley's. A couple little hitches out on port to clear their air. The Royal Oak Four Pine coming out. Shaw and Partners stood out a little bit, but all going back basically to Bradley's. And Tech 2 leads at Bradley's head. It's Noakes blue.
It's Lazarus Capital Partners on screen, Pete.
Yeah, Lachlan Steele, Jerome Watson, Matt Doyle. A little bit of work to do.
a lot of work to do, Pete.
Well, strange things happen. You never know.
You do not never know. You do.
The young crew out of the 16-footers, the Lazarus boys. First year sailing in 18 for Lachlan Steele. When you consider some of the boys in front of them have been sailing these 18s for a long, long time.
Breeze seems to have picked up.
Well, what we're looking at, I think, Jimmy, a little bit is a lot of spectator traffic, some little white bubbles caused by that. Yeah, and the compression here against the headland at Bradley's Head, but I don't think generally it's much stronger. Maybe 1 knot. You know, for the viewers, the water temperatures offshore here in the harbour up near 23, offshore perhaps 25, 24. Temperatures in Western Sydney today probably only up to 28, so the thermal potential not that high, but it's a nice little breeze.
Here's a boat that's going to go into screen here. Befits your age here, Andrew. The Coral Tracker, there you go. Got a lot of you about it.
No, I designed those sails, Peter, didn't you know?
Yeah, they look like yours. Got the Traveller right up. But anyway, here we go back on Andu. Standing out off Bradley's Head. They crossed behind Shaw and Partners, and they're ahead of Bird and Bear. So most boats working the left again. Will winning group go right? They are going right again.
Come around to the right.
There they are.
Winning group in frame, and Yandu close to us on the committee.
Well, that's interesting. You would have thought that Tech 2 may have put a better cover on them, but anyway, as we speak, the winning group have tacked in the middle of the harbour.
It's tough to go right on this part of the track, Pete.
The further up you'd go right, would you?
The flood tide makes it difficult, and the old rule was to hit the tip of Nilo on the nose from the western side, you know, and then make sure you don't fall out of the easterly, the localised easterly geographic, you know, bent wind.
Because there's the Bird and Bear just going behind Shaw and partner. And there's Bird and Bear heading into Taylor Bay. Lovely day on the harbour. Breeze, you know, 10, 12 knots. Probably a little fresher down at the leeward mark. Tech 2 leads, where we think, from Noakes, the winning group, will be close, and Smeg has probably got himself close to the 4th spot at the moment. He was well buried at the weather mark the first time, but the leader, Tech 2, going into Taylor Bay. To Chowder Head now, the winning group were on her. She's not going as hard right as she did.
But they would have gained a lot of information from that first beat, Pete. So I would expect they will go there again, unless they're just trying to stay in touch with, you know, Tech 2, etc.
Just on the left, you can see Noakes, and behind the winning group is Tech 2. They're right on the shore, the headland of Chowder Head. They'll tack any moment. There's Noakes sailing. They're sailing basically the same course as Tech 2. Tech 2 is tacked, and they're now coming out towards the winning group. They will cross the winning group from this heading that we're on the winning group now. Not going to be that much in it.
Pretty close, but
yeah, a little right hand of the winning group. They'll make things very interesting. I think the winning group are across Noakes.
Yeah, Noakes is clearly 4th, I think. Finport just behind us on the Canberra boat. We're just alongside winning group. Yeah, well, Tech 2, 6 boat lengths, Pete?
He's not coming out on a great lift there, is he really?
No, but have a look up the harbour, Pete. The breeze permanently a bit more right by the look of it. See this next line of breeze coming, it's right, it's big right. So I think you'll see Tech 2 now step all the way across, yeah?
Okay, well, they're the 3 leaders, very close, probably 30 seconds between the 3 of them.
Yeah.
Smeg's
and Finport has lost by going out to the right early again.
Okay, so winning group going left now, Tech 2 and Noakes going right.
Yeah, you know, and Noakes is going to go back. How about that? Interesting stuff.
Tech 2 going back as well, but good pressure coming down here.
Big right-handed pressure too, Pete.
Yeah,
so now the whole fleet on starboard tack. Surprising, but true. Well, the whole lead pack anyway.
Winning group furthest into Chowder Bay. And the breeze look like it's just 12 knots, I guess, 12, 13 maybe, just. Finport will be 4th.
Tech 2 leads by quite a long way.
He does now. The winning group just tacking to come out.
Jimmy, you see anything there that, you know, winning group just looked like they were a little low or in slightly less pressure on the left edge there.
No, I don't know. I don't think they were. Like, I think they were locked into a nice little one there. Like,
Not going to be much in
we've
this.
seen the previous time that they pushed hard over to Nelson Park. They obviously felt that they had, the right angle to attack early.
Very
Just
tight.
ducking a yacht there on the screen.
Couple of boat lengths in it, probably 3 or 4 now. There's winning group and Noakes. What a great race this is.
We haven't seen boat speed this close upwind for quite some time.
Ferry coming down, which will make
And how about this, folks?
things interesting. Okay, here we go. We're going to have a really good boat speed test here. Noakes going away on starboard into chowder. Tech 2 and winning group going away on port to midstream. Now this will be a good boat speed test here. Winning group to leeward. There they are. Third yesterday in the race. Tech 2 the winners. Australian champions. Still a few
Bit of an up-range puff here,
pleasure
Pete.
yachts out. Yes, it is. Pleasure yachts out and racing yachts. The harbour starting to thin out a little. So I think. So they round the Beecher Buoy, then a long run back to the starting area or to Clark Island, and then one more beat after that. And
Don't know what the spectator ferry's thinking here, Pete.
no, he's going to take a big U-turn. You'll just see him off screen at the moment. There he is. He must have been gone for a Tosca, the captain. I think he was on a collision course. Winning group doing a good job hanging in here.
Here we go.
Well, they've tacked. Okay, what's Tech 2 going to do? They're going to go with them.
Absolutely,
1, 2, 3.
they go with them.
Right on their gas.
Beautiful
Great battle. Great
Beautiful
battle.
attack from Tech 2 too.
Yeah, good tack from both of them. Don't you worry about that winning group. We've got the pedal down now.
I think that was a slight advantage winning group. The closing up there, yeah.
They are, yeah.
And they gained. I'm not sure how, but they did.
Well, they've got good speed, good tactics, good crew work. Noakes coming back at them. Oh, he just got
Noakes got
a bit.
at the tack for the ferry there.
Yeah, but Noakes is not out of this. It's a race in 3.
By no stretch is Noakes out of it.
There's Noakes in the middle.
On the far shore with the black sail.
Yeah, a bit more up pressure here. We could be 13, 14-ish. Okay, Sean Langman, these boys have done a fine job. At the moment, they're nearly across.
Just enough flood, Pete. Maybe that the edge pays.
Very close here, very close. And Noakes leads, I think. They do.
Now, he's got to do a tack yet.
No, don't worry, don't worry. Stick with me, bucko. Oh, maybe he doesn't. Maybe
No.
you're right. Maybe you owe me a beer. Maybe
He's
double or nothing. Double or nothing.
Yeah, double or nothing from
Okay.
yesterday. He's close. He is closer.
There he is. It's a good race. He's just tacking now, right on George's head. Oh, not the greatest of tacks. Here he comes. Just put his nose around the bow, winnings. Noakes leads. There you go, Andrew. Oh, does he?
No, I don't think he
No.
does.
Oh.
No,
No.
Tech 2 is in high right, so Tech 2 leads. Not much in it though.
Not much in it.
Good job from the Noakes
The
boys.
starboard tack will protect them both, winning
Yeah.
and Tech 2. Noakes
Noakes going to have to duck
he's
winning.
put the bow down. Here he goes. He's going to duck winning.
And that's good
But-
stuff. He's now on the starboard side of them for
Yep.
the last little bit into the mark.
So I'll call that Nelly bow to bow. So you still owe me one, Bucko.
Half a minute.
Oh, look at that bloke. Another brainless fishing boat going down the middle. Sorry, not allowed to say that. I'll be unkind to kumquats. Here we go. Tech 2 winning group trying to hold his height and lane. Will they go up to the ley line? Well, it's going to be dictated here by Tech 2. I think winning could tack and duck them, but
Yeah, winning group's going to wait for Tech 2 here. So
Meanwhile-
Tech 2 might just take them a little past.
and lead them in. So that's the distance, not much at all. Breeze looks a little left here,
Yeah, as you'd expect.
and that could hurt Noakes. He doesn't look so good going out into midstream. He hasn't come
Tech 2
back.
gone.
Tech 2's tacked. Winning group's tacked.
It's an awesome battle, isn't it?
It is. Down pressure too. Noakes has come back.
Yeah, plenty of rig adjustment in this beat, Pete. Like well up range down there, Bradley's.
Speak to us. How do they do that?
Well, they're major. They're just two major controls: side stay tension, easer side stays, the forestay sags a bit, the mast reverses a little bit round the two lower diagonals, deepens the mainsail, and then a little bit of cutting an eye off to help that process.
So a race in 3. Finnport have gone up the eastern shore like the winning group did last time, but Noakes lost a bit there by going out in the midstream.
Yep, and they've come back earlier than you'd expect. And I think you might find that Finnport ends up third out of this.
Nice pressure coming down to winning group at Tech 2 now. Really nice gust. Yeah, 13, 14 knots.
They're at the ley line, Pete. Well, they were just into the header now. Wow. Tech 2 back hard up.
Yeah, they'll both lay here. The winning group is probably a bit ease sheets now on the winning group because they're up slightly to windward.
Yeah,
so Tech 2 on his hip. Tech 2 will lay.
Tech 2 grab back that little bit more advantage that they had before.
And Noakes sailing will be about the same distance behind the winning group as Tech 2 rounds. The big run now down to Clark Island.
Finnport can crack off from where they are out to the right. They're just coming into shot now.
Now the winning group. You'll see Noakes any second. 3, 2, 1.5. There they are. And they'll be third, and Finnport not far out of it.
So VMG run. Now this is the thing that Finnport had been best at. Tech 2 also very good. Not so sure about Noakes and winning group VMG running.
Finnport 4th. I think Andu will be 5th, and then Smeg 6th.
Good stuff.
So the long run. So winning group have split, as is their wont. They've gone right, looking downwind. Tech 2 left, along with Noakes sailing. Finnport just getting the Spinnaker now.
Tech 2 pretty confident that the port jibe's the favourite jibe, and winning group taking some risk here that they possibly don't need to take.
Okay, Andu now. Smeg was short, so he's got to take a couple of shorteners to get up there. So Smeg is next. It'll be Bird and Bear.
You know, the leaders look like they're going to lay down there and basically get all the way to the bottom with one jibe.
Well, the winning group got right into Chowder Bay. So that's Smeg just round now with the white Spinnaker, and followed by Bird and Bear.
Yandu in the background there was just trying to right itself.
Yeah, I saw a boat capsize. That's most unlike.
I was trying to think who
Woody.
it was. It was because it had the, not the black sail. So
Yeah.
trying to work out which one it was. So it must be.
There was a cruising boat there. Whether that wobbled them up or not, I don't know. But anyway, their day is probably done and dusted as Shore and Partners goes round just on the tail of Bird and Bear. And the Bird and Bear not the greatest Spinnaker set at the moment. They've got a bit on the Bird and Bear. Spinnaker's okay now. Shooter on, Shore and Partners there. Following them will be the Royal Oak, Noakes Blue, Kitchen Maker and Vintech. So it's exciting because there's been a massive split. Tech 2's gone down the eastern shore into closer to Steel Point. Noakes went with them. The winning group jibed basically at the mark and went out on starboard into Chowder Bay, and they're fully wigged up going down off Chowder Bay. We'll converge shortly on Tech 2, but on the moment we're on Shore and Partners and Bird and Bear. Top left of screen. So all the fleet have gone this way with the exception of the winning group. Andu and Smeg. They're fighting out for 4th and 5th. Jibe on starboard. Lovely sailing conditions now. You can see the boys on Andu. Waving to try and get the spectator ferry out of the way. What we can see up the front of the fleet, I think when we get to them, we'll see that by going right downwind, that it's, you'd have to say it's cost the winning group. Tech 2 now a clear leader. Noakes sailing closed up onto the winning group. Finport in the foreground, they are 4th, but Tech 2 a clear leader. If we go to the left, you'll see him there with the red Spinnaker just fighting to get round Bradley's head. Winning group above them with the white chute. Noakes sailing 3rd at Jibe, and Finport not far off at Jibe. And Tech 2 body language, yes, they're on the ley line. Well, they really extended there, didn't they? Yep. So it's second heat of the JJ Giltinans, brought to you by the winning group. Marvellous sponsors of this series and do a lot for 18-foot racing on the harbour. And there's the Noakes sailing. They were good yesterday until they got the wobbles.
Low hooks, mate.
Low hooks on the Smeg. If we go round to the right, we'll see this, the Tech 2, I mean, fully wigged up. Just on the ley line, you'd say. Noakes in the foreground.
Noakes still VMGing, as is winning group. Tech 2.
Tech 2's got a boomer down there. Ferry coming out. Will this come into play?
No. Tech 2 across the ferry.
See the ferry.
Ferry might be problem for winning group. If they're lucky, they'll get around the bow.
He's a friendly ferry driver.
Cruising boat in the way as well. Winning group. Yep.
Tech 2 across the ferry, I don't know here. Oh, Tech 2's in all sorts of trouble down there, trying to get round the bow of the ferry. He's got to flag the Spinnaker. He's around. Is he just? Oh,
easy, never in doubt.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but now it's easy for him. Winning group.
Well, it looks like the ferry's all its course to avoid the other boats in this instance.
Yeah, so the winning group got to come right down, come away square.
Yep.
See the jib coming the windward side. That's really costly for them. Oh dear, you can see them now. Into the dead air of the ferry. They have to come right away behind him. Meanwhile, you'll see in a moment, Noakes has come right up to them. Noakes will just come into the picture now. They weren't disadvantaged at all by the ferry. But meanwhile, Tech 2 have got round the bow, really streaked out now. They've got a lead that's 40 seconds plus. There they go. There's the leeward mark just above them to the right.
Yeah, I mean, the ferry there, instead of turning to port near the channel mark, turned to starboard. And
Yeah.
so pretty unexpected.
Okay, there's the turning mark.
Take 2, John, drop at the bottom if we can just have a look at that, guys.
They're the winning group, and they're fighting it out for second at the moment. And there's Tech 2 is around.
Spinnaker's still up.
Yeah, we'll get a shot of him in a moment. We get to Tech 2, we'll see him. He's on the wind, but the Spinnaker's still stuck
There you go.
halfway up. Down it comes. And the lead will be close to 40 seconds. Great battle for second. Noakes and the winning group. Winning group holds the advantage here. They'll be first to jibe. Sean Lang will have to wait. There they go in tandem. Okay, a bit on for these crews here.
The race of the bowmen.
Okay, 50 seconds is the lead. Good work from the winning group.
Pretty neat and
And
tidy.
nice work from the birthday boy, Ed Power. On the Noakes sailing. Up they go. Yep, good job. And Finport coming in. She's close enough. And the boat that's made really good progress is Andu.
And they're making a late comeback again.
Well, she was good yesterday to get up to fourth.
And the breeze actually lifted off here, Pete. Not much wind at the mark itself. Quite fresh in the middle of the channel, though.
Yeah, Finport hasn't got much. She's tidy, yep. And Smeg's dropped back a little. She was in front of Andu at one stage, but okay, Finport's around and clean. Now, Andu, can he get the job done? They jibe and drop. There they go. Yeah, good time. Here comes Smeg in behind them. There's Smeg. Fintech 4, Andu 5, Smeg will be 6. The leader, Tech 2. Standing away all on starboard into Bradley's Head for the final beat, up to Beetle Boy.
And that group has streaked away from the peloton.
Massive gap then. The next boat will be Shaw and Partners.
And they're overstood.
Yes.
Looking upwind, guys, just to the right of all the group on a wind. Boat coming down on the chute.
The red Spinnaker and Shaw and Partners. Bird and Bear right on the ley line. So all boats on starboard. So we'd have to say that was a roll of the dice by the winning group that really didn't pay off, did it? By splitting early and going down the western side of the harbour as Bird and Bear goes through.
Come around there to the boats. Yeah, I'm not sure what they were thinking in particular, but they remained in second place, Pete, so the consequences were not all that severe.
No, their speed looked good upwind, very good upwind. Oh, there's a good shot of the Royal Oak, Four Pines, and Event Heritage and Noakes Blue screaming downwind. Then we come to another couple of boats, which is Vintech and the Kitchen Maker. Behind her, you'll see the Kitchen Maker. Hopefully in a moment, there she is.
Getting to an awkward period of the afternoon where the powerboats all come back from where they've been anchored for lunch somewhere further in the northern reaches of the harbour, and lots of powerboat wash.
Rag and Famish. Okay, so we're on our way up the final beat. Tech 2 has just tacked off Bradley's Head, and we're on Birkenhead Point Marina. They're today's race sponsor. Tim Westwood, Alex Chittenden and Felix Davario, young boys, and their first hit out in 18 footers this year. winning group just tacking off Bradley's Head, and they're about 50 seconds adrift of Tech 2. It's about the distance they were behind at the Leeward Market, Clark Island. So it's a great battle for second, third and fourth between the Noakes winning group at Finport, and Andu's coming into the picture, and Smeg's not far out of this either. Just one wobble or two, and there's a few boats ready to pounce.
It's not too many passing lanes though.
No.
It's about no wobbles, isn't it? You know, no wobbles, maintain your spot, but there's plenty of ways to have a
look
wobble.
at Andu, he's got a wobble there in that powerboat weight, no breeze and the rock and rolling, just hobby horsing there, while Smeg didn't go as far in and it's got good pressure, but Andu's just getting rolling now. There's the Smeg, second yesterday. There's Andu, the lighthouse on Bradley's Head. And as you said, Andrew, a lot of traffic looking upwind.
Hell yeah.
Andu, and just ahead of him, Finport tacking. Finport is fourth, Andu fifth.
Now people see how much they learnt from the first two beats.
Yeah,
see if you can get this one right, mate.
A lot of lessons, isn't there?
Yeah.
Well, you'd say the right paid the first time. I don't know so much the second time. Obviously, the winning group didn't think it was worthy of going hard right again.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So the fleet all going into Taylor Bay. Right up ahead is Tech 2, basically sailing the same course as he did on the last beat. Winning group second. But there's Andu and Smeg. They're fighting it out for fifth spot.
Then we can line up. New love curve on the Finport main slope at night, so be interesting to have a look at that.
Coming around, there's Finport. Fourth at the moment. They were fourth yesterday.
Third yesterday, Pete.
Third yesterday, sorry. Keegan York, Max Stenter and Phil Marshall. So again, they're consistent. Just above them in the distance is the winning group. Further away, you can't see at the moment, is Tech 2, the race leader, just to the left of the winning group. There they are now. Tech 2 just tacking to come round the headland, Chowder Head. They're on port, winning group going in on starboard. So no one's rolling the dice, Andrew, going hard right.
Well, this stage of the race, Pete, people are going, maybe second's good enough. Maybe third's a good result, and I agree with that.
Yeah, 9-race series. You'd nice, another friendly powerboat wake.
So here's a good look at Finport, boys and girls. Nice looking straight back jib. Slightly deepened mainsail, quite a bit deeper at the half height, from a couple of centimetres of luff curve out it. We'll just see. They look like they've made some inroads into Noakes here.
They have.
Jimmy, do you think they've made some inroads into winning group as well?
Sort of, but just trying to pick my way up the harbour a little bit.
Yeah. You've got a bit on. I've got it.
It's like trying to walk up George Street the wrong way.
Yeah, indeed.
But,
Well, going against the Mardi Gras last night.
Nothing wrong with it.
Jimmy wouldn't know anything about that.
Okay, there's
Well,
Noakes just
Perry famously wore one of my father's company's high-vis vests in that, and we got phone call after phone call about some crazy man, and it was Perry Como.
too much information.
Yeah, let's have a shout out to Perry. He's up in Queensland for a minute.
The great Pete Como. Anyway, back on the race course. Noakes third, Fitport starting to get a bit closer.
And the breeze,
Yeah.
and the breeze fading.
Fourth, yep.
The breeze fading a little. Seems to me, and turning left a little too.
Going left with the sun. Okay.
I think the winning, looking up there, looks like the winning group closing up on the Tech 2 a little
They
bit.
do, absolutely.
No, it's still a big gap.
It is a gap, but it's
It's a gap, but I think it's...
it was 50
shrinking.
seconds at the leeward mark. It's now 42 seconds. I've got my rangefinder on here, Bucko.
I didn't know you had a license for that technology, Peter.
It's called 2 eyes.
2 eyes, not the old-fashioned Mark 1 eyeball. Yeah, no, I think you'll see just a bit of conservative sailing here from all these guys now.
Yeah,
Like navigating for, was it Windows for boats is the edition I use.
Window for boats, that's right.
There's Noakes going out into midstream. There's Fitport. Oh, Noakes tacking now. Yeah,
So-
Fitport will tack also.
2 different winds here.
Yes.
Northeast on the left edge and easterly in the middle and on the right. Fleet all going back to the left.
There's the winning group going back on starboard just above Noakes. We'll see Tech 2 tack, I would think. Yes, he does. What a nice cover on the winning group. Come around, we'll see them there. There they are, both laying on starboard towards George's Head. Breeze looks left here.
Yep. And a bit of traffic coming and winning group putting in another one.
Well, I think they saw that boat was cruising boat was going to cause them a bit of mayhem, so they bailed out. You'd expect, what's Tech 2 going to do? Are they going to go with them, or no? They don't look as though they are. As the winning group.
Tech 2 be saying, let's do 2 less tacks. No gain to be had by going to the right at this point.
The winning group probably got enough buffer up their sleeve from the third place getter to be able to
Yeah, they've got a bit of luxury, haven't
challenge
they?
the right a little to see if they can throw anything back at Tech 2.
But 2 extra tacks, Pete, you know, might be 4 to 5 boat lengths, so perhaps 4 boat lengths in this sort of condition. And that's all. The race is, you know, it's only 8 boat lengths wide, isn't it, at this point? 8 or 10.
No, winning's gone back.
Didn't like what he got. How about that?
They'll be looking at Tech 2 in the background. They'll be pointing at him at the moment. Now they're just getting there fully wigged up. This leading 4 are really stretched out now from the remainder of the fleet. There's Tech 2 tacked off the shore. Oh, he's still got a very commanding lead.
Manly Ferry coming towards us.
Inbound.
Inbound, indeed.
Tech 2 crew, Jack McCartney, Charlie White, Lewis Brake. They've been very consistent through the Australian Championships, which they won, and now they won yesterday, and they've got a nice little cushion here going up to the weather mark.
It looks like the ferry might come into play for Noakes in winning group.
They're the 2 leaders, and it's probably about 40 metres adrift, the winning group.
More than that, Pete. Oh, and Tech 2
Oh,
coming
Tech
back.
2 on him, okay.
So Some decision here about the ferry.
Yeah, well, you can see the ferry just in the right, just going off screen at the moment. I think both boats will continue on and let the ferry go through. Oh, winning group's going, okay. Well, they've probably got enough runway there to get across.
Yeah, no, winning group's across fine, but they do have to, you know, make a call. Tech 2 will go around the back of it, therefore, by the look of that.
Well, they're probably encouraged to split there a little. Okay, here's Noakes.
Ready, Dylan?
Yeah.
Ferry seems to be, everyone's going to be clear of the ferry. That's the good news.
So there's a little gap between second and third. About 30, 40 seconds, about 30 seconds perhaps.
The Western Channel wedding cake on Sydney Harbour. Winning group just had to have a little duck. They're through the lee and now they're out the other side. Tech 2 in the distance gone the other side of the ferry.
And he's presumably right up on the ley line, if not over it.
Wouldn't be far off it.
So Finport having another look at the middle here, but driven by the ferry to some degree.
Yes,
He could have gone behind it though, I suppose, couldn't he? Could have gone back another time to the other edge.
Well, that's second, third and fourth as we look at it. Noakes nicely clear of Finport. Finport looked as though they closed up somewhat early in the beat, but Noakes has still got a fairly commanding hole on third spot. Little choppy water here. And good pressure, about 12 knots between these boats and the weather mark, which is about 200 metres upwind. Beashel Buoy just south of the famous Sound Peaks Reef.
And some quite bumpy water coming around the headland. Not too pleasant on starboard tack.
Group just tacked on the starboard. And Tech 2 will clear easily and probably about the same distance, I think, in front as they have been all the beat. So a run to Shark Island remains, the jibe there, and then the run to the finish. A bit to play for.
Didn't lie.
Tech 2 short, so they'll have to come back by about 30 metres before they tack. There's Tech 2. Not much pressure here. It's quite bumpy, the water.
Pretty good lead to Tech 2 here, Pete. Water bumpy, breeze down a bit.
Okay, they're on their way and they are around. Tech 2 leads. Second heat of the winning group, JJ Giltinan Championship for 18-foot skiffs. The biggest prize, as we say, in 18-foot sailing is the winning group now tacking to come into the mark. They will be 5, 15, here they go.
Almost
27 seconds.
Thanks,
Is
Peter,
the delta
for that accuracy.
So they closed up from 50 seconds to 27 seconds. There's Noakes sailing coming in third.
Indicates no lack of upwind speed.
No.
They
It's
tacked a couple more times.
good sign for the winning group. As Noakes sailing, laying in, they're a clear third. And in the background, I think behind, way back is Smeg. That's the Bird and Bear going up. Or is it? And there's Finport will be fourth.
Noakes, pretty solid third place.
Yeah.
Good effort.
Good effort, great. Awesome, isn't it?
Yep.
Winning group at Tech 2.
Tech 2 leads, winning group, and then Noakes sailing. And Finport Finport. There's Finport. Keegan York, Matt Stenta and Phil Marshall. And a good job. As we said, they were third yesterday, fourth at the moment. It's good consistent stuff. So they are a fourth. And then a battle for fifth between Smeg and Andu and Bird and Bear. Probably Andu will be fifth, but we're on the race on now for the leaders. There's Andu coming in, Smeg on starboard will be behind Andu. Anyway, they're concentrating on the leading group. Going right into Steel Point is Tech 2 with the red Spinnaker, and the white Spinnaker is the winning group.
Finport riding on screen now. Good puff with them. They didn't gain anything on the VMG run previously. They've got to try and make up 30 seconds here. But plenty can happen, as we saw in the first lap.
He's the one, remember on the first lap, he's the one that was closed right up. Once we got past Steel Point, he just took his own different line to everyone else.
Noakes sailing just a beam of Nielsen Park. Swirling their way down, trying to get that bow down.
In the distance, Tech 2 on starboard jibe.
You see him going across the red Spinnaker.
Crossing in front of winning group.
A few other Spinnakers there. They're the 12-foot skiffs, so don't get them confused. There's no one else between Tech 2, winning group and Noakes. They're the first three. There's the Birkenhead Point Marina. They're the race day sponsors of this race. They're racing for the Cliff Monkhouse Memorial Trophy today. Lovely shot of the Noakes.
Cruising boat doing a good job of getting out of the way of Noakes here.
Yeah,
or perhaps not.
Winning just about to jibe. They went right in under Steel Point to try and force the issue, but the breeze started to get very light, so they had no option to come out and jibe. But you can see the distance there. Tech 2 at good pressure, going to go run down the side of Shark Island. We're on the winning group. There they go, jibing. That's the lead, quite substantial. If you get a puff, you could be famous here. If you miss a puff, you could be in real trouble. Tech 2 now getting the puff. Winning group got reasonable pressure. Nothing dramatic here for either boat.
Breeze a fair way forward on Tech 2.
A little puff coming to the winning group. Will they get it?
And then a lull though, Pete. Like
yes.
The front is not like Tech 2 now. Absolutely getting walloped.
Yeah, they got the screamer first. Winning. There they go. Not laying the mark at the moment, but I think they'll get up there.
I mean,
a bit of work to do, actually. Tech 2, you can see the mark on the left. That yellow post in the water, they're getting up there now. Good job by Jack McCartney, Charlie White and Lewis Brake. They're the race leaders. They won yesterday's first heat, and they lead the second heat with just this final leg to go. Once they get round this mark, nice job, boys. They really got that nicely done. Winning group had to hunt up for a bit of pressure. Oh, now they've run out of a bit of gas on the Tech 2. Key will be when to jibe here. They're in Rose Bay now, and winning group are about 80 metres back. But as you say, not too many passing lanes now left.
Oh no, and Tech 2 just take a little middle road here, probably go about halfway to the far shore before they jibe. Winning group coming in now. So the gap.
Long gap now to Noakes in third spot, but here's the race leader. Surely be close to a jibe. Winning group going to jibe early. I think that's the only thing they could do. Oh, there's a ferry going to come into play. We'll see a ferry go across to windward of them. That's not going to do them any favours.
Tech 2 be pretty confident that that's not a bad answer though all round.
Where's the ferry? There's the ferry. Hopefully he's moving quickly. Winning group got a good pressure.
Yeah, I think Tech 2 might have gone a little bit too far.
Yes, I think he did, but anyway.
Winning group might yet have to jibe back to get through the lead.
Tech 2's done it pretty well down there. They're in really nice pressure. They're in a pretty solid position. There's the two boats. Tech 2 leads. Winning group looking for a screamer to get down on. If they got a screamer, they'd make things interesting, but they're just starting to hunt up now. They're a bit pressure-free.
They're in the pressure-free part.
Yeah, the lee of this Shark Island. While Tech 2 motoring along Point Piper foreshore.
Little bow down there on the winning group.
Yeah, just one or two puffs. That's all they need.
Yeah, Tech 2 actually pretty efficient along the shore. They didn't have to sail hot at all. They just maximum VMG through.
Nice job.
Using all the riding moment.
Just wondering, Andrew, just looking back when Tech 2 went across the bow of that ferry, I just wonder whether they could be in a spot of bother there.
Well, as I said at the time, difficult when the ferry's turning the opposite way to
That he expected it to turn, but
he expected it to turn.
maybe we might hear a bit more about that, but
Well,
let's see.
I would hope not.
No, we'd hope not, for the sake of the race and the sake of the Tech 2 boys. No, they're in comfortable position now, Tech 2. Left the Point Piper shore, they'd be almost laying the finishing line. And they've got winning group tucked well away behind them now. Yeah, they'll be laying in. They're on a lay line at the finish. So they'll win the second heat. Can't do any better than that. Jack McCartney and Charlie White and Lewis Brake, 2 out of 2. Not a bad start to the regatta. Look at that, lovely, lovely shot. Very consistent, good speed all round, upwind and downwind, no mistakes. Here they come. There they come. One little jibing in. 1, 2, 3. There they are. Tech 2, worthy winners. Terrific performance again by these boys. And they've stamped their mark on this championship already in these early days. 2 out of 2. Winning group will not be too disappointed, I don't think. They had good upwind speed. Their big split on that second run really cost them dearly. So they're coming in now. They'll be second. Winning group now 35 seconds adrift of Tech 2. Great shot of the winning group as they cross the finishing line. And as we go up now to the third place getters. It'll be Noakes sailing, holding off a fast finishing Finport that should get the job done. Noakes sailing with the red Spinnaker, Finport with the white. Not much in this, but I think Noakes are going to have enough in the tank to do the job.
Yeah, Finport made a good fist of putting him under pressure at least, but just a little bit too much gap.
Yeah, well, again, Noakes have been very consistent all day. They there or thereabouts. Through the line now is Noakes. They're through. The Finport will be next. They'll be about 15 seconds behind Noakes sailing. Finport, third yesterday, fourth today. A good consistent performance. And then flying in fifth spot is going to be a good battle between Andu, Bird and Bear and Smeg, but probably Smeg a little bit out of this. It'll be between Andu and Bird and Bear. I think Andu will do the job. Yeah, on Andu now with the blue Spinnaker. Bird and Bear jiving with the big bear on the chute, and then coming into him is Smeg. So Andu, fifth, after their fourth yesterday. So a good start to the regatta by those boys. Marcus Ashley Jones, Geronimo Harrison and Cam Gundy. They're the Bird and Bear. James Doran, John Walton and Tom Clout. And then the Smeg, yesterday second place, today seventh. I think they'd be a little bit disappointed with that. And then the Royal Oak, she's made a good recovery.
Yeah, they were counting from the back for a while.
They were. So the Royal Oak will come in eighth. And the red Spinnaker will be Shaw and partner. So Royal Oak now in eighth. Ninth, Shaw and partners. Jim Colley, Sean Connor and Harry Bethwaite. And the Royal Oak was Aaron Everett, Courtney Marr and Charlie Gundy. Then a long gap to our lady skipper.
That's a good
Event
comeback
Heritage.
from Royal Oak.
They were deep and gone, weren't they? Yeah.
They were so deep they were standing on the bottom, Pete.
I tell you who I haven't seen is Yandu. They did have that capsize. I never saw them come back after that. So I think they're a long way back. Just coming down Shark Island now, yeah. So that was an unfortunate capsize for the Yandu. They're coming around Shark Island now. But here's Noakes Blue, Rory Cox and Oliver Scott Mackey with Event Heritage. Lovely shot, well done. They'll be in a 10th position, following their 11th yesterday.
If they keep that up, Pete, by the end of the week they'll be second. 11, 10, 9, 8, yep.
Kitchen maker Caesar Stone.
Yeah, kitchen maker.
You don't have to follow the boat around, Jimmy. Cameras do that.
Young crew, Jordan Gertis, Lachlan Doyle and Tom Quigley going through now.
There's Vintech coming to the finish, Pete.
Yeah. Vintech, they were unfortunately disqualified yesterday after that incident with the winning group, but they're across now in 12th position. Tom Cunich, Alex Marinelli and Zach Barnabas.
So Appliances Online coming to the finish.
Yeah. Appliances Online. Yeah, not their best day. They were
They had a blinder yesterday.
they were up there all day yesterday, but slipped a little to finish 8th. But they're down to 13th today.
The next one here is the Rag and Famish coming into the finish line.
Jack Young, the evergreen Jack Young. Here he comes.
Evergreen Bowman on there, Matt Pearce. Jeez.
Hope for us all, isn't there?
The bloke formerly known as Matt Pearce, the size of him, as I said the other week, he's lost 40 kilo.
He's enjoying it though, Jimmy.
Our day's sponsor, the Birkenhead Point Marina, will be next, I think, and then a long distance to Yandu. So
Yeah, I think I mistook Yandu for Lazarus Capital Partners, a boat with a white Spinnaker with a bit of red in it.
Yeah.
Do you want the binoculars that are down here, Bucko?
Well, the Lazarus was up at the Windward Mark, which is 2 miles away. I don't think I'm going too bad.
Well, binoculars work that far, believe it or not.
Yandu and Birkenhead Point Marina chasing the pack, as they say. Birkenhead Point, Tim Westwood, Alex Chittenden and Felix Deverio. Young team that have started the 18-footers this year.
Alex just running in to soak it down. Going to have to jibe, I think.
There they go. Sheet hand is Alex Chittenden, the son of our man Chits, who's on the boat here today, so he'll be reasonably happy with that. And here's Yandu, the old bloke, Johnny Winning. Not his best day, but as I said, they capsized, which is most unlike John, but I'm sure there's a story behind it. And we haven't seen any of our Queensland friends. There's one boat in the distance that's still to finish, which I think is Ilve, is it?
Yeah, well, I just looked up. You had Lazarus we're just to the right of them as we're looking up the course now, Pete. Lazarus Capital Partners, they just capsized.
Right.
The Ilve's in there, and then to the off Steel Point, you can see a black Spinnaker, one of the old Rag and Famish Spinnakers, which should be the Lumix.
Oh,
boys.
okay, yeah.
And I think Queensland, I haven't seen Queenslander since the start, so I'm wondering whether they had some terminal issues and they've returned to shore.
Took an early shower.
Yes, all right. Well, we've seen another terrific day's racing out on the harbour for the second heat of the winning group JJ Giltinan Championships. A classy performance from Tech 2 to win their second heat in a row. They were first, the winning group, impressive. Second, Noakes Sailing, third. Finport fourth. Andu fifth. Burden Bear sixth. Smeg 7th, Royal Oak 8th, Shore and Partners 9, and Noakes Blue in 10th. So that rounds out the top 10. A late day tomorrow, no sailing, and then we're back on Tuesday for 2 races. Andrew, a quick thought on the weather for Tuesday?
I did check this morning, Pete, just that sort of 10-knot southerly, south-southeast perhaps. So another day with big sail. And a challenging day for the crews, compressed course. Been very interesting in the past.
In 2 races, as I say. So we look forward to your company then. Just hope that Tech 2 doesn't have any issues with that little minor incident with the ferry, because he sailed an exceptionally good race. Was there or thereabouts all day. Very, very good crew work, no mistakes. But I think the winning group will be pleased with their effort, and of course Noakes Sailing, who have really improved in the last few weeks, and they had a wobble yesterday, but today they got on the podium, which was really good to see.
Pete, perhaps just mention Smeg. Their lack of upwind speed did tell today. They did not look comfortable and got stuck in the peloton, and
and they couldn't get out of it, more or less. And I did have a discussion with them yesterday after the race where they were citing lack of gust response, and today was a day where you needed some.
Yes, absolutely. All right, well, James Bury, thank you. Chits and the tech boys and our drone men, thank you. Been terrific pictures today. Another wonderful race. To Andrew Buckland, we thank you, Andrew, for the overview of the weather as always. It's very interesting. I know a lot of people are fascinated by your weather prognosis and water temperatures. They find that quite incredible, really. But anyway, thank you, and we look forward to seeing you in 2 days' time out here, and we thank Sail Media for bringing the coverage, the Winning Group for sponsoring this great event. So I'm Peter Shipway, and we'll see you back here on Sydney Harbour on Tuesday afternoon. Farewell and good afternoon to you.